The New England Patriots season opener ended in a closely contested 5-point game. Offensively, the Patriots displayed a slight edge in terms of explosiveness and efficiency compared to the Eagles over the course of the game. Their defense generated only one less turnover, but managed to limit the Eagles to 3 fewer visits to the red zone. The Patriots' special teams excelled in controlling field position, although Eagles kicker Jake Elliott's flawless performance of going 4 for 4 for field goals ultimately determined the outcome of the game. Surprisingly, the gap in the roster talent between the Patriots and the Eagles, sadly, really the pivotal moment came when Mac Jones threw a pick six, providing Philly an early 2-score lead. This, combined with Zeke's fumble on a subsequent play, propelled the Eagles out to a 16-point lead. This made the Patriots play catch-up for the rest of the game. Despite these challenges, Mac Jones delivered an impressive statistical performance, completing 35 of 54 for 316 yards, 3 TDs, and 1 INT. His completion rate was over 73%, and his average was just under 6. Behind the line, he was 13 of 13 on dumps for 55 yards. Under 10 yards, he was 15 of 23, 157 yards with 1 interception. Passing from 10 to 20, 4 of 8, 51 yards with a touchdown. And then over 20, he was 3 of 8 for 53 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, under pressure, he did excel. He was 9 of 16 for 115 yards. He did get 2 sacks in the fourth quarter. Against the blitz, he was quick. He was 5 of 6 for 62 yards, with one of those ending up in a sack. In general, Jones initially grappled with what looked to be week 1 jitters, making high throws and mistiming his passes. However, he settled in as protection improved. Notably, he demonstrated marked improvement when pressured, a significant contrast from last year and the year prior. Mac Jones showcased both his potential and areas of improvement in this game. Those who believe that Jones' ability to excel in Bill O'Brien's offense were likely encouraged by his performance. He displayed moments of high-level passing and pre-snap reads. Notably, his impressive stretching of a play in the second quarter demonstrated his capability to lead the offense effectively. Now, I could say there's mixed sentiments to this. There were moments that may have given the Mac haters a little bit of ammunition. The early interception where a throw to Kendrick Bourne resulted in a pick six is obvious. It raised questions about his decision-making and accuracy. Yes, it was raining out, but if you look at the tape, you can see that wasn't exactly the best option. And of course, there's the nagging issue of his arm strength, which has been a limiting factor. The inability to execute a game-winning drive is also a lingering issue. As a franchise quarterback, you need to go for the kill. There's also a dichotomy of perception here. This analysis highlights the divergent perspectives on Mac Jones' potential and performance. Some view him as a promising young quarterback with tools to succeed in New England's offensive system. Others may be more skeptical, citing instances of inconsistency or real or perceived limitations. The real revelations lie in the finer details. I'm going to point out that Bill O'Brien's adept problem solving and Jones' performance under pressure and vintage Bill Belichick's defensive strategy held this together. Now, Mac also got a lot of help from Hunter Henry and Kendrick Bourne, who emerged as standout performers, with Henry delivering key plays, including a crucial touchdown catch. Bourne, on the other hand, is officially, in my book, wide receiver 1, showcased his agility and just knack for finding open space and pulling down some tough catches. While the game ended in a loss, it provided valuable insights into the team's strengths and areas of improvement. I'm being optimistic, and I think the road ahead promises further development and strategic adjustments as the Patriots look to build on the season opener. The Patriots against the Eagles confirmed many of the preseason speculations about the team. The analysis of the game tape and the statistics tells me that Mac Jones is in a different place this year and is ready to reacquire his growth trajectory. Yeah, one game is just a snapshot, but it is also the beginning of a new chapter. I think Mac Jones will continue to evolve as he gains more experience and faces different challenges throughout the season. Now let's talk about what we saw on the tape. Mac looks really comfortable in this offense. Bill O'Brien looks to be exactly what Mac needs. Let's return to the breakdown on the passing attempts. Mac only attempted 8 passes over 20 yards. It did lead to 2 touchdowns, but it's 8 passes out of 54 attempts. That is 8 attempts over 20 yards. Now, I know a lot of you are not exactly happy with that because we need to be running an air raid offense with 30-yard bombs like it's Madden in order to be considered a real NFL offense. But we have to face reality here. Mac's arm strength is subpar, and his throwing mechanics are abysmal for deep attempts. Keep it short, quick, and rely on your receivers and play calling to get you those high probability passes that move the sticks and burn the clock. We saw motion, we saw pony personnel, we saw tight ends creating mismatches, and the offensive line was good enough to execute that game plan. Yeah, watching the tape, we see plenty of mistakes, but the numbers support a solid game for Mac 10. All right, now it's time to start tracking Mac for 2023. Versus the Eagles, week 1, 35 for 54, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT. That gave him a QBR of 91.3, and he also had 15 rushing yards. Now, after the amazing conclusion of that Jets and Bills game, we can say that Mac at 54 attempts is first in the league. Passing yards, he's 4th. Passing touchdowns, tied for 1st. And interceptions with 1, he's tied for 5th. So he was 4th in yards. The first being Tua, who had 466. He had 3 touchdowns and 1 INT. All right, Kirk Cousins, 344. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. Matthew Stafford, 334 yards, no touchdowns, no INTs. And then there's Mac at 316 with 3 TDs and 1 interception. If we really look at it, there's only a handful of quarterbacks that had a much better game than Mac this past weekend. I would say Tua being one of them. One would argue Kirk Cousins, yes. But then maybe Jordan Love, who had 245 yards with 3 touchdowns, no INTs. After that would probably be Brock Purdy. He had a good week, 220 yards with 2 touchdowns and no INTs. But Mac had a better weekend than Trevor Lawrence, really. Obviously much better than Josh Allen, Kenny Pickett, Justin Herbert. I mean, even Patrick Mahomes, Justin Fields, Jimmy Garoppolo. Tannehill had a horrible weekend. Russell Wilson had an okay weekend. He was better than Jalen Hurts statistically. Lamar Jackson, 0 touchdowns, 1 INT. Deshaun Watson, 1-1. Bryce Young went 1 for 2. Dak Prescott didn't do anything. I mean, even Joe Burrow. I mean, that's a different situation, but come on, guys. Yeah, I mean, I'll give it to you. It's week 1. But this isn't week 1 against some no-name defense. This is the NFC champions that essentially got there because their defense was so good. We can't discount. I know we didn't win and everybody wants to talk about moral victories and everything. But let's take a look and say there's evidence the offensive play calling and Mac are working together. Yes, it's week 1. But shouldn't we be encouraged that Mac Jones looked that good at week 1? Again, against the Eagles, and he was doing things that works for him. Why shouldn't we be encouraged by that? Did he fall short? Of course, but then who didn't really fall short this weekend? Tua? Jordan Love? Brock Purdy? Anybody else really in there? Kirk Cousins did okay? Did anybody really blow us out of the water? No. Your best quarterbacks in the league had worse games than Mac Jones. I hate to say it, but I was really expecting the Eagles to put some pressure on him and this being inverted. I was thinking like 1 touchdown with 3 INTs. I'm serious. I thought the pressure was going to get to him, but the exact opposite happened. A few bad passes, a few drop passes, and a fumble, really killed the game for the Patriots. You take away just one of those turnovers and that turns into a field goal or a touchdown, we're looking at a completely different game. And yes, ultimately, did you win? No. But if you're looking at stat lines and positive indication and signals, you have to be optimistic about how this season started off compared to last year. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about Mac's performance against the Eagles, and what are you expecting this coming week against Miami? What's the stat line look like? And most of all, what do you think Mac's tracking towards this year? If you like my content, please like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.